Hi, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and this is Prompter. Prompter is one of the newest products to join the Elgato family. Prompter is an all-in-one teleprompter that brings tools from the professional broadcast world to your home setup to help you deliver your content. Now, you might have seen a teleprompter in some form before. For years, the broadcast world has used teleprompters to help on-camera presenters deliver a clear and concise speech. So, what is a teleprompter and how does it work? Well, the goal of a teleprompter is to allow you to project text onto your camera lens so you can read your script to make you stay on track. And how does it achieve this? Well, the magic is in what's called the beam splitter glass. Now, the best way to explain this is like one-way mirrors you see in those interrogation scenes in movies or TV shows. The cops can see into the interrogation room, but if you're in that interrogation room, you only see a mirror. So this is kind of what beam splitter glass does. You essentially see a mirror while the camera just looks through the glass to look at you. And all you need to do is simply tilt the mirror to a 45-degree angle, and then you can have a display which displays text, which will then appear on the teleprompter. So you see your prepared speech while your camera just sees you. And it'll look like you're looking through your text and directly into the camera's lens, ensuring eye contact. So you can see why a tool like this would be invaluable in the professional broadcasting world. But teleprompters are also helpful in the content creator world because it addresses the same needs of helping deliver your message in a clear and concise way while remaining engaging with the camera. And in recent years, new ways to use teleprompters have surfaced, such as viewing your live stream chat or using one in a video conference call. But the issue is teleprompters have historically been out of the price range of most consumers, costing thousands of dollars and being quite large since they're designed for studio setups. Now, over the years, new types of teleprompters have become available that are more aimed at consumers with more attainable pricing. However, they really only offer half the equation of a teleprompter, essentially only giving you the beam splitter glass part, but then you need to provide the screen part with a smartphone or tablet. So there are a few issues with these types of teleprompters. Number one, while they in themselves are a more affordable price than a traditional teleprompter, you still need a phone or tablet to use with it, which means that the cost of the total system can still be quite high. Number two, they're more limited in camera compatibility, generally only being compatible with interchangeable lens cameras whose lenses have filters that let you screw on a step-up ring that lets you dock the teleprompter onto the lens. Number three, they have limited compatibility with camera lenses in terms of field of view. With many of these consumer teleprompters, if you use them with a wide-angle lens, you'll notice vignetting because the housing of prompter is within the lens's field of view due to its sheer smaller size. And lastly, when using a teleprompter with a phone or tablet, it limits your potential uses, such as using it for video conferencing calls on your computer. So these are the issues that we wanted to address with Elgato Prompter. We wanted to make a teleprompter that was a true all-in-one device that can accommodate a wide range of cameras and potential uses. So let's go over how we accomplished this. First, let's talk about the display. Prompter features a built-in 9-inch display with a single USB-C cable. And this single USB-C connection is used for both power and video signal using DisplayLink. So you just need to connect one cable from your prompter to your Mac or Windows PC, or even your Android phone, for Prompter to act as a monitor. Now, in the case of an Android phone, Prompter will mirror what's on your phone. But in the case of a Mac or Windows PC, Prompter becomes an additional monitor so you can set it to extended, so you essentially have an extra monitor in your setup to throw whatever application you're looking to display through it. And what's really neat about Prompter is that the display is naturally mirrored from the get-go, which means that when you look at it through the beam splitter glass, it's correctly oriented, and this allows you to drag any application you want onto Prompter and you're able to use it right away. This is really cool compared to smartphone teleprompters, since for those, you would need any app that you want to use to have a mirror function, which is not really a common feature in smartphone apps. Next, let's talk camera compatibility. This was also really important. We designed Prompter to have a profile that won't take over your creator space, but be flexible enough to accommodate different types of cameras, because not everyone uses a mirrorless camera with lenses that can support a teleprompter. A lot of people use webcams, point-and-shoot cameras, or camcorders. So with Prompter, we developed an interchangeable backplate system. On the backside of Prompter, you have two thumb screws which can be unscrewed so you can pop in different backplates, depending on the type of camera that you want to use with Prompter. If you happen to have a mirrorless or DSLR camera with a substantial lens, you would use our ring backplate. With this backplate, you attach the appropriate size step-up ring to your lens, which we include in the box. And then you dock Prompter onto your camera lens, and then you're good to go. Now, this is a similar mounting process to the other consumer price teleprompters out there, the main difference here being our integrated display. But what if you want to use a webcam or a camcorder? Or what if you're using a mirrorless camera with a smaller lens, or a lens with a motorized zoom which wouldn't be able to support the weight of a teleprompter? Well, this is where the backplates come in. Now, this is our universal backplate with a cloth shroud. Putting this on your prompter opens up its compatibility to most cameras and webcams. You would simply take the camera bracket we include with Prompter and mount your camera onto it. Then you drape the shroud over it, and then you just center the camera within the opening of the backplate and you're good to go. Now, you might be wondering what this shroud is for. This is in order to block light from getting into the prompter from the backside. Just because if you have openings where light is coming in, it makes it more difficult to see the reflection of the display on the prompter when you're presenting, and it can also cause glares or reflections in your camera's video. Now, if you have an Elgato Facecam Pro, we actually include a third backplate specifically meant for that webcam, where again, you would just install that backplate, then mount your Facecam Pro onto the camera bracket, align it to seat into that backplate, and then you'll just tighten everything up. Now, what's really cool about Prompter's design is that these backplates are essentially a standard plastic component, which means that not only are we able to release more backplates down the line, such as if we release a new webcam, we could also release a Prompter backplate for it, but you can even use 3D printed backplates with Prompter as well. So soon on Elgato Marketplace, you'll find 3D files for Facecam, as well as a blank backplate template. So if you have some CAD knowledge and a webcam you'd like to make a backplate for, you can download the file and edit it to conform to your webcam so you could print your own backplate. Now, we plan on adding more backplates to the store as time goes on, whether the files are provided by us or by members of the community. Now, if you're curious if your camera works with Prompter, we've also created a compatibility webpage, which will continue to update as we and the community continue to test more cameras and lenses with Prompter. Now, before moving on, I wanted to talk about this camera bracket. So this is what you use to mount your camera or webcam onto when used with the universal backplate or the Facecam Pro backplate. And you might notice that it looks a little funky. Now, this is because we have multiple mounting rails depending on your type of camera. So let's say you have a point and shoot camera whose 1/4-inch jack is off center from the lens. We have this small rail up front that lets you shift your camera left and right so you can center your lens. And you also have these wings here with 2 additional rails. These are so you can mount smartphone grips so you can use your smartphone with Prompter. So if you're somebody who uses Epoch Cam, you might find this really useful. So with a combination of our backplates and our camera bracket, Prompter is compatible with most cameras you can think of. We have 9 sizes of step-up rings to accommodate different lens thread sizes on the mirrorless cameras and DSLRs, and the design of the shroud backplate and the camera bracket essentially covers you for everything else. Next, let's talk about camera field of view, because this was also really important when developing Prompter. Now, I've used several teleprompters over the years, and one of the biggest limitations that I, along with other creators, have noticed is when you use a teleprompter, you can only get so wide with your lens before you start to see vignetting on the sides. Because the lens is so wide, it's catching the edges of the teleprompter housing in its field of view. Now, some teleprompters require a lot more zooming in than others, but we wanted to make sure ours was really wide. And I believe we've accomplished this. Now, every camera and lens can be a bit different in what its focal length represents, and I'm not even talking sensor size like how 20mm full frame is different than 20mm on a crop camera, but you could have 2 lenses with identical focal lengths, but because of differences in either like the front element of the lens is bulbous or slightly more recessed, the fields of view might be slightly different. Now, from our testing, when using the ring backplate with Prompter, you can get around 21mm of full frame equivalent focal length. But using the universal backplate with the camera bracket, you can get a good amount more, because you're able to push your camera closer to the beam splitter glass. Now, officially, we state we support up to 20mm full frame equivalent focal length to try and account for the different variables in different lenses. But the truth is, it is possible to push farther past this. Now, I have a Tamron 17-28 full frame lens for my Sony camera, and when using it with the universal backplate, I can get the full 17mm in shooting when I'm shooting 16:9 video, and then I can get around 18mm when shooting 3:2. which falls in line with Harris Heller's findings when he was testing Prompter with his Panasonic 18mm lens shooting an open game, which again is that 3:2 aspect ratio. Now, this is just 2 lenses out of a sea of lenses out there, so if you have a really bulbous wide-angle lens, your mileage may vary. But the point is, Prompter lets you shoot really wide, which is quite a feat for teleprompters of this size. Lastly, let's talk more about the software and how you're going to use Prompter. Because with Prompter, we've made some big updates to our Camera Hub software, adding in a Prompter section with some really cool features. First off, Camera Hub features a teleprompting suite where you can paste, edit, and type your scripts for your presentations or YouTube videos, etc. Right now, we have some basic customizations, like you can change your text color, size, and style to your liking, or you can adjust your margins so you can adjust how far your eyes have to travel when you're reading your script so you can avoid your camera picking up those eye movements. And what's cool is we have these chapters for scripts which allow you to break up your script into different sections, which you can navigate with Stream Deck. In addition to that, you can control other aspects of your prompter with Stream Deck, such as your scroll position and speed. You can change your text or margin size on the fly, and so much more. Next, with Camera Hub, you can display your Twitch chat so you can make eye contact with your viewers when you live stream. Now, you could of course drag a popped out chat window or chatterino window on a prompter, but the issue is those apps lack proper text scaling options, so you can adjust it to make it more legible. With Camera Hub's chat integration, you have full control over the text size and margins and everything. As of launch, we have support for Twitch chat with standard emotes, and then also Better Twitch TV and Franker Z emotes, so you can catch all of the dank memes when you're chatting with chat. And one really cool feature in Camera Hub is whether you're reading a script or Twitch chat, you can adjust your opacity. So let's say you want to monitor your camera while you're reading your script or Twitch chat, you can do so really easily this way. Now, as time goes on, we'll of course be adding more functionality and features to Prompter's Camera Hub integration, as well as Stream Deck. So if you have any requests for what you'd like to see, feel free to let us know in our Discord server, our Twitter, or even right here in the comment section down below. But as I said, the beauty of Prompter is that everything is mirrored going into it. So if you have a particular use for Prompter that we haven't thought of, you should be able to do it no problem just by dragging whatever app you want right into it. And if you let us know the cool way you use Prompter, maybe there's a way we can build it in direct support into our Camera Hub app or something else to elevate the experience. Now, I can't wait to see where we take this through software updates and new features as more people start to use Prompter. As a teleprompter user for years, I've personally been thrilled at the pain points that we've addressed in the world of teleprompters with Elgato Prompter. And I hope you do too. I think you're really going to love it. Elgato Prompter is available now on elgato.com. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit that like button and get subscribed to both our Elgato YouTube channel and our Elgato Workshop channel, so you can catch our latest videos and tutorials to learn how to unlock the full power of your Elgato products. Once again, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and until our next video, good luck and have fun. Once again, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and until our next video, I'm Ron Burgundy. Once again, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and until our next video, the arsonist had oddly shaped feet. I love scotch, scotchy scotch, scotch, down in my belly. Once again, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and until our next video, go